Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm your English teacher Zia. I hope that you're doing well. My dear learners, I need your attention for today's students learning outcome. We are going to cover an SLO from our writing competency, and today we are going to learn about editing and proofreading. It belongs to the writing competency. This is when we are done with our answers, we are done with the assignment, the homework, the answer that you've written in the exam, or any kind of written task, as you can call it, any assignment, any essay, any kind of fiction or non-fiction narrative. Now, I want you to stay with me on this lesson, and you can ask your questions in the middle of the lesson just by raising your hands. People who have joined us online and people who are sitting over here, students, you can also stop me midway and ask your question. Now, for English 9, today we are going to cover the students' learning outcome. It says apply editing and proofreading skills to a range of different texts and contexts. Now, you know, my dear learners, again, I'm telling you this because it is very important to learn each and every competency in English language. For example, you need to know about grammar, how it works. We have covered students' learning outcomes of grammar competency. We have covered from vocabulary, reading and critical thinking, and also in the last lesson, we discussed oral communication and we saw a student's learning outcome from that competency. Now, we are here on writing. Now, this belongs to when you are done writing your task and then you need to apply these given editing and proofreading skills. Now let's see how it goes after breaking it down. All right. As you can see over here, this is a vertical linkage. It links this student's learning outcome with the previous grade where we talked about the process approach of writing. Yes, writing has a process. It has three major steps, and they are pre-writing. Before you begin your writing, it is very important to prepare yourself, prepare the necessary things before you begin the writing. And then you move on to actually writing, which we call drafting. When we are drafting, we are actually writing on the paper. And then lastly, we follow the steps of post-writing, where we check our written material, we see if there is any kind of mistake, any error, if we have given the right information, if we have given the right answer to that particular question. Now, what we are learning today belongs to the process approach of writing, and it belongs to the last step, which is post-writing. Now, after we are done writing it, now let's see how it goes. Now, before that, I would like to tell you the importance of writing that Allah has told us about in the Holy Quran. You can see over here, this is Surah 68, the verse number 1. It says, Noon, by the pen and what everyone writes. Now, Allah actually swear upon the pen and the writing itself. It means that writing is very important for us, and through writing what we do is transform our ideas on the paper. Then he says in Surah 96 verse 4, who taught by the pen. Now, the purpose of showing you these two ayats from the Quran is to let you know that writing is a very sacred activity. It's a very sacred job. So you have to be responsible as much as you can. You have to be elaborative and you have to take care of that in a very special way. So now, let's do a quick pre-reading before we begin our lesson. As we always do, this is a quick prompt a brainstorming question, the question is really simple. Do you check your written material, your written task after that you have written it, whether it's your work, your assignment, answer, or anything? So, do you check it before you submit? Right? We do check our answers. Sometimes we find grammatical errors. We find mistakes in our part of speech. We find mistakes in tenses. We find mistakes in the spellings. So we need to eradicate and omit all these mistakes. Now, in order to do that, we use editing. We edit it. We make modifications. We go through that and then we correct our mistakes. And also, we proofread it. Proofread for any kind of error. And then only we can submit our written work or assignment or whatever task that was assigned to us. Now, I hope the topic is really clear. The student's learning outcome is very much clear to you. Now, this is what we are going to achieve. We are going to see the different kind of strategies that we can put in our editing and proofreading skills. I hope that the topic is clear. If you have any kind of question, you can ask and then we can move forward to the lesson. All right, you can raise your hands if you have any kind of suggestion, any question, any comment, etc. All right. Students who are sitting here, do you understand the whole concept? We are going to do editing and proofreading. Now let's see. Now why is it important? Can't we just write and then just submit it? Can't we just write and just hand it over to our teacher? No, because we are humans. To err is human. To make a mistake is in our instinct. So we need to check it. No matter how much confident we are, still we need to check our work. Now, let's talk about proofreading first. Let's, for example, say that I have written an essay on my favorite place, my favorite vacation, right? Vacation place. Now, that I've written it, do you think I should go over it again? Should I reread it? Yes. Should I read it again? Yes, it is very important that we reread our work, even though that I or you have written the work, still it needs some checking. Now, proofreading means to read written or printed material and mark any errors. So, of course, we need a pen, we need something to mark our mistakes so that we can correct it. Now, this is what we call proofreading. Read the work and then mark any errors. Error mean mistakes. Now, proofreading and editing, these two things are methods. They have a method and steps. Let's see what they are. First, you edit your writing, then you check with a fresh pair of eyes. Now you have to be very much clear and you have to be full awake when you are doing proofreading of the work. Then you will take the printout, you will proofread it, and then you will look for any grammar and punctuation mistakes. Yes, punctuation mistakes are very much common. For example, if we have put comma in the wrong place, if we have used hyphen or question mark, sometimes we are asking a question without even putting the interrogative punctuation mark at the end. So this is very important that we check for grammar. All kind of grammar mistakes could be there and your punctuation mistakes. Now, if you are in your essay writing a quote of someone else, let's say Winston Churchill or William Wordsworth. Now you have used that quote. Should you mention the name of the person who has said that? Yes. It is very important to give credit to the person who has said that quote. So you need to check if you have given it or not. Now, does your answer, your assignment, does it make sense? Is it logical? Is it relevant to the question? Are you adding irrelevant information in the answer or in your essay or any written work? So this needs to be checked thoroughly, that if your answer, if your written work is making sense. It should be sensible, it should not be senseless or nonsense. Now, do not repeat yourself. When we are writing something, we may actually repeat some lines. Yes? Should we remove those lines or not? We should remove the repetition. Something is being repeated, we should remove it so that there is no repetition. Now, here, this is for when you are writing on any kind of, like if you're writing on MS Word, if you're writing on any, on your devices like your personal computer, your laptop, your mobile phone. So you will use shortcuts, let's say the grammatical tools like Grammarly and all that. So you can use your digital shortcuts, your digital tools for correcting that mistake in your homework or in your assignment. Now, these are all the things that you need to be aware of. Now, let's talk about editing and proofreading. Do you think that they have a relation with one another? Editing and proofreading are related. The purpose of these two things are to free your text, your written work of any kind of mistake. Now, editing and proofreading go hand in hand. It means they are related. Editing and proofreading are linked together. Although editing is more to do with revising the logistics of your writing, and proofreading is the last step. It means that first you'll edit your work and then only you will proofread it. And if you find any mistake again, you will do the editing process over again. And then you will proofread your work before the submission. Before handing it over to your teacher, you will proofread that work of any mistake. So first you will do editing and then proofreading. Now, you'll want to rearrange the words, sentences or paragraphs to make sure they are in a clear and logical order. What does it mean? If I'm writing a paragraph, if I am writing an essay, do you think I should follow the order of the essay? Can anybody tell me the correct order of writing an essay on any topic that you can think of? Come on, students, please contribute to the lesson. You can raise your hands if you have any kind of question. You can type it in the chat box to let me know, and then I'll answer it. Okay, let me help you with this. First, you have the introduction of the essay, then your main body, and then the conclusion. So these are the three important parts: introduction, body of the essay, and then your conclusion. Now, if I don't follow this process, my essay will be wrong. It will be in the wrong order. So I need to be very clear and logical in my order of the essay. Now, if I assign you to write a story on any topic, what if you write the ending first? Will you write the ending first or at the last? At the last, right? The ending of the story would be given at the end. So this is a logical order that you need to follow. And when you are writing your answer in the exam, where there are two parts of one question and it needs to be in order, will you follow this order to write your answer? Yes, you will. So your logical and clear order is very important. You have to be using the chronological order. The first thing comes first and then the later whatever thing that is. Now, look at this one. We use to check the smaller surface level errors that we can see. Surface level errors are your spelling error, your grammar mistake, if you have not actually written the title of that homework, of that task. If the first letter of your title is small and it is in lowercase, it means it is wrong. You should be starting it with capital letter, capital alphabet, right? So you need to see all these kind of surface levels, mistakes that are very clear to you. First, you will edit out those mistakes that are very much clear to your eyes. Now, we have some strategies over here. Now, these strategies are for editing. When do we edit our text? When we are finished with the writing. And why do we edit? To omit any kind of mistake. I hope that you are understanding and following the lesson. Be a little more active, please. All right. Thank you. Now, first, we will see that the paragraph have a clear topic sentence using specific vivid words and modifiers. You know that the first sentence of the paragraph that we are writing is called topic sentence. And it shows our main idea of that paragraph. So you should be saying that is the topic sentence of my paragraph correct? Is it evident? It is right? Yes, if it is right, then you can move on. And if your topic sentence is full of errors, it means that you need to rewrite it. Then we will see that whether our paragraph is having supporting details. What if you just write the first sentence, the topic sentence, and then you just end the paragraph? It doesn't make sense. There should be supporting details, my dear learners. The detail, the whole plot, if you're writing a story, the more detail, the information that is needed to be in the paragraph. So you will see that my paragraph is having enough supporting details or not. Am I missing out any detail? If yes, then I will write it again. Are the events in chronological order? Are we following the correct order of writing our answer or any kind of written task? Now, let's talk about spellings. Yes, we can often unintentionally make spelling errors. We can mix two similar words together. Can you give me an example? Look, oftentimes we actually mistake these two words for one another. This is a demonstrative pronoun like there, and this is used for there, for possession. So if I write their car is very good, their car is nice, is it correct? Come on guys, their car, T-H-E-R-E, their car is so nice. It's wrong. You should be writing T-H-E-I-R, their car is nice. There he goes or there she goes. She went there. T-H-E-R-E, there. So we need to be careful about such mistakes. Now, if my teacher has asked me to write an essay of 3 pages, let's say, for my homework, and I'm not sure about some spellings. What should I do? I'll open a dictionary. Yes. I'll open the dictionary to check the spellings. Now let's talk about punctuations. What are punctuations? Can you tell me for revision? Students, you need to be a little bit active. This is English class, so you need to be, active and very responsive. All right, let's talk about punctuation. These are your marks: full stop, comma, your exclamation mark, your colon, semicolon, question mark, hyphens, all right, brackets. So all these are your punctuation marks. Now, we will see that does each sentence punctuate any conversation with quotation marks. If let's say this student Zumeet over here, Zumeet has written a paragraph, he quoted someone else, but he didn't put the quotation marks around the sentence. Is it not a mistake? Yes, he should be putting quotation marks, the double quotes, when he is quoting someone else. So we should be seeing that have we used correct punctuation marks, quotation marks, etc. Now let's talk about capitalization. What do you mean by this? Capitalizing the correct alphabet, the correct letter when we are writing. For example, my name is Zia. The Z should be capital, not small, because it is a common noun or a proper noun? It's a proper noun. Good. Now, have you started sentences and conversations with a capital letter? Now imagine I have a page. I'm writing this. I am working. Is it correct? Why? I am working. Yeah, the I should be capitalized. This is what we call capitalization. So we need to capitalize our proper nouns, names of specific places, things, specific concepts, ideas, titles, and etc. Now, let's see about usage. Have you misused any of the commonly mixed homonyms such as all these that are mentioned over here? What are homonyms? Words that are different, but they are sounding like they are the same word. For example, where and where. They sound the same, right? But they have different function. So it means that they are homonyms. There, to, to, twoo, two. Now, these are homonyms. They sound the same, but they are having different functions. So we need to see if we have used the right word, if we have not mistaken with another word. Then you will check your grammar in your writing. Now we are talking about anything that you write, whether it's your answer, your task, your assignment, your homework, or anything, your story, your personal life, your diary, journal, whatever. So, do your subjects and verbs agree? For example, if I say, he were there in the class, वो class में था. He were there in the class. Now, is it correct? He was. It means that my subject and the verbs should be agreeing. If I'm using a single subject, then the helping verb will be was or the relevant one. So the subject and the verbs should agree with one another. Have you kept your verb tenses consistent? If I'm telling about my daily routine, should I be using the past tense or the present tense? The present tense, right? I wake up, then I did this. All right. I wake up at 6. I do my breakfast. This is all your present tense. But if you start using past tense or future tense in the middle, then this will be considered wrong. So you need to be careful about the tenses, and have you used any sentence fragments in run-on sentences? We need to see that our sentence structure is intact. Now, we will be careful about all these points when we are editing any text. Now, after that you have done your editing, you are done with your proofreading, you need to make a checklist. All right? Make a checklist of this type: structure and format. Have I capitalized my headings? All the headings are capitalized? Yes. Topics are organized or not? Are there any run-on sentences? Paragraph length. If I'm assigned a paragraph of 300 words, if I'm writing 800 words, then this will be not according to the instructions. No repetitions, one paragraph should be delivering one idea. Now, and similarly, all these other columns that you are seeing over here, they represent your checklist. So you need to make a checklist, and then only you can submit your written work. Now, my dear learners, after talking about editing and proofreading, we saw some strategies. You can watch this simulation video later on to learn more about editing and proofreading and how you can do it effectively. Now, you can get this worksheet in the resources. What you're going to do is read this whole 2 passages and then find the errors. I hope that you can already see some errors in the lines. There are many of them. You need to correct them. And for your homework, you have to write a simple paragraph on a topic of your choice and do proofreading and then editing before handing over it to the teacher. So you will apply all these strategies and then you can submit it to your teachers. Now, these are resources attached in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube, on Chases Academy's YouTube channel. And if you are here, it will be shared with you this PowerPoint presentation, a skill sheet, a question bank of the relevant topic, and also a worksheet that I've shown you in the previous slide. All things will be added. I hope that we have achieved our students' learning outcome clearly. We talked about editing and proofreading skills, and it is relevant to the writing competency. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that we have covered it well. I will see you in the next video lesson. Now, before ending the lesson,